Well, I can honestly say that I never thought that this would happen. 4 years down the road and 50 episodes of this insane menagerie we call a podcast.
I am amazed that you're still listening, guys.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Pretty incredible when you consider all of it.
Yep.
I only wish we were all in the same room to enjoy it together, but for now I guess we'll just have to make do with the sounds of each other's voices.
Yep.
Oh, don't worry. Teleportation devices will be in the future soon.
No, they won't be. No, they won't be.
I don't know. I don't want to end up like President Shroob, I think, or Scroob in Spaceballs, coming out of the teleporter with my head facing my ass.
No. We don't want to end up like Jeff Goldblum from The Fly.
Oh. Ugh. And with that disgusting note, hello everyone, we are the Legend Hunters, and welcome to the 50th podcast,
where insanity reigns supreme.
Look, we all survived.
Semi-centennial insanity is afoot.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's some nice alliteration. Alrighty, so where do we begin? It's the 50th. It's gotta be special.
Well, we have a special Q&A planned up later on in the podcast, but first off, we need to talk about how everyone's weeks have been.
Oh no!
So, why
don't we start with a disclaimer?
No
politics.
Nothing based on you-know-what for the past you-know-what days.
Yep, so with that out of the way, Legend, how's been your week?
Well, I've been keeping upright for the most part.
And why is that?
Because sitting down was painful. I've been on my butt more than I would care to enjoy. Been very, very busy. It's heading up the semester. And I will also say that my video game front has also been surprisingly busy, even though everything else has been going on in school.
Oh, really? What have you been playing?
I have found Dark Souls 3 boring.
Really?
Yes! It pains me to say it, but Dark Souls 3 is essentially a one-trick pony with regard to how you play it. You don't play it as a wizard. You don't play it as anything else. You play it as a warrior with a quality build. All weapons are basically geared towards a quality build. If you build a pyromancer, you have to throw on countless rings and items and thingamajigs that make you weak to things and everything. It's no fun to play anything other than a pure melee fighter with maybe a bow every now and then.
Really?
Yeah. It saddens me. So I went back to Dark Souls 2.
You what?
Yeah, I went back to Dark Souls 2 and decided to punch everything.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, you played with the sisters?
Yep. The two sister cestas that go ahead and pound everything into mush.
So
I think that's pronounced cestai.
No. I kind of like the rolling alliteration around the rolling round sounds. And internal rhyming is always fun too.
Oh, it could be either cestus or cestai.
Aye. But, rule of writing. If there's a purpose for breaking the rules, break the rules. Just make sure you know what you're doing. But, besides Dark Souls 2, I've also been playing a lot of PS2 games. Disgaea 2 as well as Dragon Quest 8. Getting back to those games and really getting into it. There were a lot of things that I missed going through. And it was more fun for me just to go there and do my own thing.
I wish I could actually find my disc for Dragon Quest 8.
I
don't know where it went.
Well, you can go ahead and get something else instead, but we'll talk about that later.
And I'm still the only one who has never played any of these games.
Yes, you are, and you are very sad for not having played them yet, Akari.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm happy where I am.
What is this, a Looney Tunes sketch?
But yes, I'm Bugs Bunny, he's Daffy Duck.
I'm not the one always getting shot. I am, however, the one that was always getting punched.
choose.
Oh, God.
If that's the case, then I am Bugs fucking Bunny.
Oh, my.
What's up, Tubby?
Oh, shut up, Leo. How's your week been?
Decent, all things said and done. I've actually went back to an old crutch of mine.
Aye?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh,
Oh
no.
my goodness. Well, not the card game, thankfully, although I am making motions to invest in that again.
Do not give money to Konami. Do not give money to Konami.
They updated one of the archetypes that I used to use, which basically floods the field with high-level fairy types.
Ew.
Kitties!
Wait, which...
Except they're not fairies, they are fallen angels who are considered fairy types for some reason.
Oh, the Archlord deck?
The Dark Lords, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, guess who's the fucking chief now?
Who?
Lucifer!
Of course.
So Lucifer now commands the fairies?
Yes.
Oh, good lord.
Yes, so of course he's going to be probably debuting at $30 a pop.
Yay.
But no, in all seriousness, my main crutch is I've been rewatching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX in Japanese.
Oh, in Japanese, eh?
Yeah, so I've been watching the dub of it.
I need to finish getting the rest of the original series.
Which
I have
is
most of it on DVD.
Which is a lot more pleasurable because of the fact you don't have to worry about Jaden trying to get his game on every time. Oh, goodness. Which is completely rife for sexual innuendo. Very much so. Which explains the entirety of fanfiction.net.
I feel sad.
Also got to watch the not released season 4.
Oh, the Darkness arc.
Yes, which never got a release in the States. And I also got to see some of the later episodes which skipped around quite a bit, so I never saw them. I would love to watch the original, first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! I heard it's really good.
Season 0?
Yeah, Season 0 is brutal. I heard it is. I mean, I read some of the manga of it and Shonen Jump when it came over, and I can't believe I actually remember that. Pretty much, technically it's not Yugi, it's Autumn, but still. I mean, straight up murders people at certain points. I remember that one.
I remember one particular scene, because this was actually animated, and I got to see the Japanese sub of it on YouTube. And It's actually kind of indicative of just how awesome and horrifying this could be.
Yeah.
There's a point where a thug goes ahead and holds an entire train car hostage and is holding Yugi's beau, whatever her name is.
Taya, I think.
Anzu in the Japanese, but Taya in the US as we know her. So yeah.
Yeah, that bitch. She's currently being held hostage and blindfolded. And he's basically ordering everyone around and is threatening everyone with a gun. And Yugi comes up as Yami and offers to play a game.
I want to play a game.
That's correct. Autumn is the original Jigsaw.
Yes, he's... Oh, man. And he goes ahead and pulls a jigsaw on this poor thug. I felt sorry for the thug. So the challenge goes, we can only use one finger. We each choose one finger, and we will use that finger to kill the other person. Oh, God. A 10-year-old just said this. What am I watching? And so they go ahead and they pick their fingers. The thug goes ahead and he picks his trigger finger.
Because he's holding onto a gun.
And Yami goes ahead and chooses his thumb. He's holding onto a lighter. As the thug is pouring himself a shot of booze, Yami lights the lighter, has it hold itself open, and then he puts it right on his booze hand. He is now holding a lighter and the bottle and just pouring himself out and making sure not to light himself on fire. That's where the clip ends. I don't think we wanted to know what happened next, but I'm pretty sure that thug wishes he never once picked that train.
Oh yeah, it was pretty bad. There's another sequence like that in the manga series, where a Bancho character at Yugi's school basically bullies him and his friends out of their spot in the school festival.
Oh no.
And so these guys like making hibachi with the flat iron grills. Oh no, I think this is going. So Yugi goes ahead, challenges the dude at night to go ahead and play a game with him. And so they're playing ski hockey of all things, with the flat iron grill. But for a puck, they use a ice puck that in the center holds a vial of nitroglycerin.
Oh no!
No. And so as they're playing, they're bouncing it back and forth on this flat iron grill. The ice puck is slowly melting to the point eventually it's going to break, or it's going to melt and spill the nitroglycerin onto someone.
Well, isn't that just wonderful?
Oh God, I think there was one. I don't know how this one goes, but there was one versus this gang that was chasing Yami Yugi, and he tricks them, and they're staying in like puddles of water, and he drops something like I don't remember what it was, a toaster or hair dryer, and just like electrocutes all of them. I'm like, dude!
Is this the same Yu-Gi-Oh that 4Kids approved? Apparently not.
Shit! Canonically, yes, because Season 0 leads into Duel Monsters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God. Because, like, prior to the Duel Monsters being a thing, like, they've ran into Kaiba before.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where he had green hair? Yes, that's where he had green hair. Oh my God.
Screw the rules. I have green hair.
Yes. And I think at one point they also had, actually I think the first time Duel Monsters is somewhat referenced is because they actually fight Mokuba at one point too.
Oh yeah, Mokuba.
When he was
he was there.
Yeah.
Yes, he was, and he was
actually had a purpose until later on.
He was the Bowser Jr. of the Yu-Gi-Oh series.
And then he became Princess Peach.
And then who then became Princess Peach. You're absolutely correct. Oh my God. But we're getting sidetracked just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. I did more than just that. I played Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3 a little bit. I've been working on doing pyromancy builds for them.
And how's that going for you?
Better in Dark Souls 1 because you could viably run strength builds a lot easier then.
Yeah.
And because of casting, it's a lot more fun to abuse with the Great Chaos Fireballs.
Yeah. It's
which
fun.
which have a bigger area of effect and a longer last time than they do in Dark Souls 3. Other than that, I started up playing my other crutch, Fallout, on the PC, and I had to work with it for about 3 hours before I could get it to finally work with me.
Huh.
Because Windows 10 is a derp.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
Windows 10 a while back released its anniversary patch, which changed a bunch of things, specifically with games for Windows Live, which no one ever uses.
You know, with Windows, it always feels like they're not necessarily patching their stuff so much as applying mass skin grafts.
Yeah.
To this Frankenstein monstrosity.
Not to mention that some of those skin grafts end up rotting on the corpse.
Right, but in any event, the patch also not only made it hard to use the game systems, but it also disabled my NVIDIA card for a bit.
Really?
Yes, it disabled NVIDIA, so I had to go ahead and reinstall the Experience Manager that goes ahead and manages the NVIDIA cards.
Really?
Yeah, but after I got that finished, I think it worked. I haven't had any issues afterwards.
At least until the next update.
At least until the next update, c'est la vie. Last thing I've done is more Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And I've finished paying off my purchases for my pre-Christmas gifts to myself. Pokemon Sun.
Yay!
And Bolo's Guide to Monsters.
What?
Which is a Dungeons and Dragons expansion book that expands on the cultures of certain monsters, and basically adds a bunch of new playable races into the game.
Ooh.
So aside from your traditional dwarves, elves, halflings, and a couple of other ones that are a bit odd, like tieflings, who are basically humans that have inherited the touch of Satan. They've added some new races to play as.
Do they have dragon people?
They have dragon and lizard people.
Oh my goodness, it's the Argonians all over again. Wow, there's a lot of Bethesda references today, aren't there?
Oh yeah, and they also just added basically a race that pretty much matches what the Khajiit are.
Really?
Except that they are more centered around jaguars.
So they're more like the big cats.
Well, no, it's just that instead of all Khajiit are supposed to be based off of all the cats, this particular race is solely based off of jaguars.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah, so there's also a race where you can be a crow person, you can be a partial snake man.
But can you still say, "May your road lead you to warm sands"?
Sure, you can say that.
Why is it that every other game that I know that has cat people, they're always from a desert region?
These guys aren't from a desert region. They're technically supposed to be from the jungles of Mexico, or what would be fantasy Mexico.
Jesus Christ.
Fantasy Mexico.
In so many terms, it's like during the time of the Mayans.
Sounds like Poland, too.
Poland?
Yeah, Poland is the Mexico of Europe.
Wait, what?
What? Oh my goodness. Okay, you're going to have to explain that one to me.
Okay. Exhibit A, Mexican mariachi. You hear the trumpets, you hear the violins, and you hear, vigorous clapping and extravagant, how we would say, traveling herdsmen outfits.
Sure. So in Poland, they have
violins, trumpets, and extravagant traveling herdsmen outfits. Just by their music, Serbian music is so very much like Mexican mariachi music. Take a listen and tell me I'm wrong. I'm not trying to be racist or culturally insensitive. I think even some people in Poland have made this joke before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Poland is the Mexico of Europe.
God dang it.
Okay, so where else along this trip do we go?
Well,
that's pretty much it. They added some of the other common ones: bugbears, goblins, orcs, hobgoblins, all with really interesting and diverse effects. If we ever go ahead and we actually decide to do 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, it would be quite a treat.
I look forward to it.
Alrighty.
Alright.
So, Muzi.
Why don't we go ahead and we'll send this up north. Muzi, how's your week?
It's been relatively okay. Battling sinuses, so health was just kind of bleh. Yeah.
Oh no! The sinuses strike.
Yeah, just wipes you right out.
No.
And then, let's see. I finally finished the final project for that distance class.
Huh.
Turned it in yesterday. She already has it graded.
Good lord.
Oh no.
So I got like a 96 on that. And even if I don't finish the other assignment, it still leaves me with an A. So if I don't finish that other assignment for like the 10th or something like that, it won't matter because I'll still get an A.
Awesome.
Well, that's good.
So I'll finally have that wiped out. Let's see. Seen Doctor Strange twice already.
Good lord.
So I take it it's good.
It's really good.
Awesome.
No, Benedict Cumberbatch is good.
The movie is just awesome.
I can go for the record that for the first time ever, my beloved mother has said this is her favorite movie of the year. And I'm like, she never says that. She never says that to anything. Every time I ask that to her.
It pays to have a dad who works at the theater a couple nights a week.
Oh, heck yeah.
Because he gets, as a manager, he gets 3 passes a day.
Really?
Yes.
And I take it you use them all?
Well, the first time I went with Ramos, so he got the 2 IMAX tickets, so that way we could go see the first show of it that Thursday night. And then when I went with my parents, who had not seen it yet, perfect excuse to go again. The only thing that we had to pay for was concession, and even then he gets up to 4 items half off. So, like, a large bucket of popcorn is, like,
Awesome.
4 something, you know? Might end up going to see it again.
Depends.
Of course you will. Why are you
Why
so...
not?
You are addicts. You and Akari are movie addicts.
What can we do up here in the frozen north? What do you expect them to do, Zero?
Build
Unless you're an
snowmen
outdoorsy
24/7?
person, there's only so much to do.
Or play Stardew Valley or Dragon Quest Builders or Skyrim like a certain other addict we know.
Oh, stop it,
No,
Legend.
no. What do you think I've been doing all morning?
So how's that going, since we brought it up?
Beat chapter 1.
Finally.
And ironically, I didn't find the golem very hard.
Yet I did. I ended up having to make like 10
We'll
gates.
We'll get to you. Let her speak.
I had, once you get the pattern down, and I had it figured out after the first try, you're good, because you've figured out what you gotta do. It's just about getting to the right spots.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as long as you have enough of the Cantillon shields built, like I did, you're totally fine. I built like a whole bunch of those suckers, because I realized, wait a minute, if I have a bunch of them, I don't have to keep making sure I pick up the same one over and over again. So I stationed at least one on each wall, so I could just pick it up and move it. Let's see. And I picked up my new Precious.
What is your
My PS4 Pro.
Oh, both of you got a PS4 Pro, didn't you?
Yep, pre-ordered it. I got a preview for about $140 because of trade-in credit.
What's wrong there, Legend?
My aching pocket. $400.
Hey, we pay this over time.
Yeah, that's what's so wonderful about having so much trade-in credit on it is I only had to pay like $140.
Oh, pretty much, yeah.
So it was great.
It's
And
still
now
better
I
than
have-
Legend
it's still better
gently
than
weeps into a
$5.99
pillow.
US dollars.
Yeah, and now all I had to do was reinstall the games, which doesn't take any time at all when you have the 1 terabyte internet.
Oh, don't get me started on reinstalling right at the moment. Okay,
And then I already had my save date on a flash drive, so it was just a matter of installing the games so I could put the save date on there. And it's got the wonderful 1 terabyte hard drive. So now when I get a new game, I don't have to try to make room for it in the storage. Which will come in handy because my next couple reserves are PS4 games.
Of course.
And I also, squealed a little bit because the 7th was N7 day. So they revealed more stuff for Mass Effect Andromeda. I may have been squealing.
Of course you were.
I'm probably sure.
I've been waiting for that game. But I was bouncing between builders. I beat Rise of the Tomb Raider again, but I need to go through and find all the challenges and stuff. Much to Zero's chagrin,
Yay.
Ryomo bought me a copy of Color Splash. I remind myself that it's not a Paper Mario game.
Sure, you just keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that, Moosey.
Well, actually, that may be the perfect response to it. Don't treat it like a Paper Mario game, for it is not.
It's not a Paper Mario game, but for a game, it's not bad. If you just want something that is silly that you could just sit there and speed through a level, then it's good for that. I just don't consider it an actual, in this, Paper Mario series type game.
To be honest, would you have it repeat itself over and over again?
Yes! Because they had the formula down.
Honestly, it would get kind of stale that way. So I can see why they went this direction.
No, the only reason they went this direction is because they're lazy. They already admitted that they're only going to focus on the one RPG series, and they're making that the Mario and Luigi series. Now, I understand that it's a good series, but you're also disappointing the other fans.
Can't please everyone. Suck it up.
Same thing about half the games you play and whine about, so...
Yeah.
Touché.
Well, you like Resident Evil, you never played any of them.
I like the story. For me, it's just about the story.
No, you're just obsessing over Leon.
No, I like most of the stories in the games.
Sure.
No, really, I'll sit there and watch people play them. It's just not my thing to play. It's like with the movies. I can stand to watch the movies, but
even though their stuff's all over the map in terms of story and acting.
That's an understatement.
I had some difficulties getting into the Resident Evil series. On the one hand, I enjoyed immensely getting into Resident Evil 4. I got it on loan from one of my cousins. Played it, had a great old time.
That's what a lot of people love.
I just have one problem.
What's the problem?
My file was wiped.
Oh no!
And I'd beaten the troll. The tiny midget troll who turns into something big and gigantic and horrifying.
Oh my goodness.
The Spanish asshole.
Salazar.
Yeah, I'd beaten Salazar and was in that area with the face huggers, no, or whatever they're called.
Those guys, yes.
Those guys.
Las Plagas or whatever they're.
No, they're all called Las Plagas, but I was in that area and it was all gone. It gives me
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yomi had a similar thing happen with Final Fantasy VII.
Ooh.
She had grinded so much that her characters were majorly beefed up level wise, and then her file corruded.
I was gonna say, didn't she just acquire Vincent?
And yeah, and since then she's never played it because it has just kicked her off so bad.
Yep.
Well, she can finally get Final Fantasy VII when it gets the remake out.
Well, she's, quite happy because once Ryomo picks up his Final Fantasy PS4, which ironically isn't a Pro, it's a Slim, but it still has the 1 terabyte hard drive. He's going to give her his old PS4.
So she can play Diablo.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It maybe give the remake a try, probably.
And I actually have a free Xbox One.
Oh my god.
Yay!
All right, so
He gave me his old one.
all right, I want to move us along a little bit. Let's get through our next few.
Has Akari told us how his week's been, or?
Yeah, that's what I'm going.
No, it's Akari's turn.
Yes, Kari, how have you been?
Busy, work, tired.
Ouch.
That about sums it up.
That's pretty much the majority of the week.
And you mentioned all the stuff.
Besides working the deadest week of my life.
Ooh, this is
Well,
terrible.
So yeah,
Explain that it was super busy then.
I'd rather have it be busy. At least the day goes by faster. Other than that, I like Muzi. I also got myself a Pro and managed to pay off not only that, but both versions of my version of Pokemon Sun and Moon. That way, next Thursday night I can be ready. So I'm like,
Which we will be picking up at 8 p.m. next
yep.
week.
What else
I'm
have I
gonna have to
been
dig into
trying to get all my
savings for
games,
that.
most majority of my games on my PS4, so I'm good right now. Except for one thing.
What?
Uh-oh. Get your earplugs.
Once again, when I transferred my save data onto my new PS4 and reinstalled Bloodborne,
Cover your ears, guys.
the save data got corrupted. Again.
Breathe, Akari. Don't scream.
What is all the save data I have to frickin' put on a frickin' console? Bloodborne's the one that gets fucked over the most.
Yep.
I have to do it all over again. That's my only complaint right now.
Yeah, that means you gotta fight the Bloodstar Beast again.
Oh.
Man, I'm just like beat it in one go.
You hope.
And what else has been going on in my life? Okay, Pokemon Go wise, when I was downtown with Yami, well, I just say it, it's been a pretty good day. One day we went to Taco Bell for dinner, and what popped on my screen? A Porygon.
Wow.
Oh my.
You lucky son of a bitch.
What there was, I had my phone on. She had her phone on. She was watching because she also watches as well. And all of a sudden, I was turning into Park. Boom! It just pops on, and I just caught it. I'm like, oh my god.
The funny thing is I have now had 3 of those. I've hatched 1 and caught 2 in the wild.
All I'll say is Niantic, thank you for getting rid of the rats and birds.
Well, they've reduced how many there are.
Yeah, reducing them. Thank you so much.
Thank God.
And then
Yeah.
he gave me the finger because I hatched another Lapras.
I flipped off both you and Yami. What do I know? Not to mention, yesterday I managed to evolve another Pokemon, which is now my 3rd strongest, and that is a 88% IV Tentacruel with Blizzard.
I actually have 100%
Wow.
Tentacruel.
I'm all because it has to have an egg.
I kind of feel like I'm listening to Red and Blue banter over the Pokemon they've caught at this point.
Kinda does, yeah.
Thing is, who is who?
No, see, that's okay. I can top him. I've got 119 caught, 130 seen, so.
Okay, I think we know who Blue is.
And I have 6 evolutions that I have yet to do that are brand new Pokemon for me.
Alright
But
then. Well,
other than that, what else I've been doing? I've been playing, I've been going back, might do a new game of Resident Tomb Raider. Obviously, I've started Bloodborne again. What other? Oh yeah, I probably did the longest binge watching I've ever done in my life, which is all 143 episodes of Angry Video Game Nerd from beginning
Wow.
to end. And I can say this, it was so worth it.
Well, and luckily a lot of his earlier stuff is very short.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the Blu-ray alone is like almost like 25 hours or so for the first 100 episodes.
Alrighty.
And let's see. Other than that, nope, nothing else.
I binge watched the season of Arrow that I hadn't seen yet, so now I'm back on the new stuff.
But sheesh, you guys really don't watch anything really quality, do you?
Oh my god!
Oh, come on, dude.
Are you taking shots at Arrow? Did I hear you right?
Okay. Anyway, I guess it's my turn now to talk about my week.
Okay, how was your week, Zero? So we can take shots at you too.
Oh, shut up.
Shots fired!
I was playing, well, as of right now, I've been playing the new Skyrim, the updated Skyrim that was released for the PS4.
And you were not playing it as we speak.
Oh, of course not. Of course I haven't been playing it right now. I just had an
No, of
error,
course
so
not.
I'm not playing it right now. Anyway,
Right.
anyway, I've also been playing Dragon Quest Builders. I got to Chapter 3, and for some reason I've derped in there so far, and I now have nothing to eat in there, and I'm slowly dying every single second.
Adventure 101. Pack your food.
There's no food there, and there's no mineral. I can't find any, what's it called, coal to make to cook the rabbit flesh.
Adventure rules number 2. Pack your tools.
Well, the
Adventure
problem
rule
is,
number
in between,
3, don't forget the salt.
Oh, he's got plenty of that, though. Don't worry about that. He's got it in
He's got
bucket
all
loads.
that.
well, the problem is, in between chapters, you lose all your items, and you even forget how to make certain recipes.
And oh my god, it's ticking me off.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's the issue.
Why can you not build upon what you have already learned? Why
Technic-
does you have amnesia attacks in between chapters?
Technically, you can, but what happens is you also get stuff. You get new recipes for the same items using different things from different regions. Like a
Which
wooden
isn't
door
fair,
requires,
man.
like a straw door requires straw from this one area, but a straw door in a different region requires this weird purple bush.
So, material-centric locales.
Yes.
That is fine, but basic building techniques there are some universal basic building techniques,
Yeah.
like what you do with wood.
Yeah, well, like I said, some of the stuff is the same, but you also learn new items to make different things, like rings and weapons and armor. You can make a ballista to fight down a giant freaking chimera.
Take aim.
Fire! By the way, Moose, for Chapter 2, just aim the ballista in one direction. And just make about 5 of them, and just fire them all off in a single row. Doom, doom, doom,
You
doom.
aim it at a band?
No, you aim it at a giant bird.
Though I'm sure a lot of people would like to aim it at a band.
Anyway, I've also been playing Dragon Quest VII on my 3DS. I'm actually almost near the end of the game.
What is with all of us playing Dragon Quest stuff today? I swear. It's amazing.
Well, it's a good game series. Seriously, Akari, you need to play it.
Well, you know what it is? Final Fantasy is falling behind, so we need to supplement it with the other series.
Yeah.
I can't wait for 15 though. It looks really good.
It does look
It
really
does
awesome.
look pretty good.
I'm
And
actually.
I've played played some of the demos, and man,
The combat is tight. It's really good.
Now, I know for a fact that the characters don't really shut up, but is that ever a problem in this game? Uh-oh.
Moosey?
What was that? Sorry about that.
I haven't really noticed like a huge problem with that. So
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's good.
But the thing is, you're only controlling like one person, but at least it allows you to fight many different ways using moves and spells. And the AI of your companions is actually really good.
Okay, then.
Yeah, that reminds me of Dragon Quest VIII. Surprisingly, I had a lot more fun not telling my party members what to do and just telling myself what to do.
Probably the best spot for him to start with Dragon Quest would actually probably be 8.
Yep. Very good.
Actually, I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Really?
Yeah, if there's any one of the game series you should start with, you gotta start at the first one. And by that I mean 3.
I meant for availability, though.
And by that one I mean 3.
But here's the thing with me when it comes to RPGs. It usually depends on how it goes or how it plays. If I don't like how it goes, then I just lose interest in it.
The reason I say start with 3 is because 3 is probably the closest thing you can get to a kind of like it's the closest thing to a traditional RPG in terms of mechanics and level ups.
And it also kind of serves as the prologue to the entire series, especially 1 and 2.
It does, but the more important thing about it that I think makes it more accessible to get into is that you don't have to worry about the job system as much. 9 does a weird thing where they lock off changing jobs until way later in the game. So do most of the other ones. You could start off with any of the DS titles, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
I think all of those have the characters have pre-designated classes.
Yeah, technically, yeah. Yeah, pretty
But
much.
I think 3 is just the best because it starts off with you going slowly and learning how to basically solve problems within the game world, and then expands you to bigger and more wide areas.
Though, for me personally, I think Dragon Quest VIII would be a really, really cool place to start too, just because of the sheer endearing quality of the characters and the, general idea. I didn't really have a good idea of what I was doing when I was going in at first, but once I went in, I started figuring things out pretty quickly, and I came to love the characters. The voice acting was spot on. The system was actually really, really fun and addicting. P.S. The boomerang is freaking awesome early on. I love it.
Yeah, but it doesn't stay that way.
It doesn't have to stay that way. I don't mind it losing power as I pick up bigger and more badass weapons. Or transferring the powers of my old weapon into a new, even more badass weapon. It's awesome. I love it, in short.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's a good game.
Well, it's basically the Final Fantasy VII of the Dragon Quest series.
As in everyone remembers it, and many other games make reference to it.
Yep, especially Jessica.
Oh, yes, Jessica. Moving right along.
I guess with that, really not much else has been going on with me this week. So I guess we can go ahead and get started with the news.
Oh, man.
That
do you
makes
guys-
sense.
43 minutes in and we finally start the news.
It's been a long week, apparently.
I swear
Yes,
to God,
it
I need to
has.
have timestamps for whenever we start different subjects for the podcast so people
That
can...
would be very useful, actually.
Okay,
Yes.
so...
All right.
Leo, why don't you start us off?
Well, we don't really have... Okay, so we do have some slight Pokemon news that came out just this morning,
Yeah?
but it's pretty much something we've already been aware of since people started cracking into the demo.
Yeah, pretty much. They just basically, in the latest Koro magazine, they revealed 3 of the Ultra Beasts, which is the black polygonal one, the green one that has like bamboo arms, and the weird star-shaped one. And apparently the black one has some kind of interest in Solgaleo and Lunala.
Wait, do we have evil Pokemon?
I think that's what the Ultra Beasts technically are, or just like aliens.
Well, it's ambiguous still, but I can tell you that our black Pokemon here is an Eclipse.
Oh.
Of course.
Think about it. Look at the shape of the body. Look at the theme, It's Dark Side of the Moon, fuckers.
Oh my god, you're right.
Whoa.
And here I thought it just looked like a Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann mecha reject.
It does.
No, it is a reference to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. So in addition to that, they've also leaked the unique Z moves for the starter evolutions.
Yeah, I think on Koro they've only announced like 2 of them. I'm going to
They've only said the names for Decidueyes and Incineroars, and of course this is the Japanese variant.
Yeah.
However, the people who have already data mined have already gotten all 3, both the names and what they look like.
Well, since they've kind of announced it, why don't you tell us what their names are?
Okay, so do you want me to tell you all 3, or do you want me to just tell you the 2 that they've confirmed?
Let's just do all 3.
Might
Okay,
as well.
so the first one is Decidueyes, which is, I think the Japanese variant is called Shadow Arrow Strike.
Sounds to me like it's a ghost type move.
I wonder why.
I've actually been looking at some of the other released Z moves in comparison to some of the previous moves. The Z dance that the player trainer uses at the start is very reminiscent to the Bloom Doom one.
Really?
Yes, at least it appears to be. I could be completely wrong.
All right.
But that's one option. That's Decidueyes. Decidueyes move.
How about
The second. I'm sorry.
yeah? How about Incineroar?
Okay. I just remember. I just got the hacked video, and I'm looking this up so that way you guys don't spoil it. Sinful Arrow Raid is what the English translation is supposed to be.
Sinful Arrow Raid.
Sinister.
Sinister
Okay.
Arrow Rain. I love
Okay.
it.
Incineroars is, in Japanese, it's called Hyper Dark Crusher.
Hyper Dark Crusher!
Oh my god.
Sounds like a Dragon Ball Z move.
According to the hack, according to the data mine, the English translation is Malicious Moonsault.
Why can't we have a nice, awesome name like Japan?
We
Now,
could literally say bring on the salt.
when this does officially get released, and assuming everything that the hack is confirming, I will be ranting, and I will be going ahead and talking about why I have a problem with this.
Really?
Yes, because again, I've seen it. I'm saving you the trouble because we're so close. I'm saving you and the audience at home the trouble of why this is because of how close it is. But I have problems with this move, and we'll get to them when it's finally released in the States. Now, lastly, Koro didn't say the Japanese name for Primarina's move, but based on the hacked version of it, the Primarina Z move is called Oceanic Operetta.
Oceanic Obretta?
Yes.
Well, that sounds interesting.
Yes. So there are things to discuss when those come out, but for the sake of everyone, I'm not going to discuss them. As it is, people are already leaking footage from apparently early releases have already been hitting people, and so leaks of what has been happening in game have been hitting YouTube.
Oh, great.
So as of this point, you should not be looking up anything related to Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Oh, I haven't for like 2 weeks.
Well,
I've been
don't.
for the longest time.
Well, don't now, because now we're getting into where it's actually real.
Yeah, so, and anyway, I'm going to be out of town when the game gets released, so I won't even be able to play it.
Boo.
Oh.
In other words, when we talk to you online, we can't mention a whole bunch of stuff.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Alright, so that's that. Now we can actually talk about what actual news is going on. Pokemon Go came out with some changes.
All right.
Rosie, you want to take it away?
Well, they've decided to make it so that way it's actually easier to put a Pokemon in a gym once you take the gym. No one can snipe you anymore. You actually get a little bit of time after you finish beating the gym to slip a Pokemon in there before somebody can try to take it from you. Which is a good update, but they've also made it harder to build up the gym. Like when you train with the gym to build up the prestige, they've made that harder. So someone can't come in, take the gym, and then build it up so high that you can't take it down. The
All
one
right.
that really ticks me off, though, is that they've made it as to where you can't get Pokestops while you're driving, which makes sense if you don't have a Plus. But if you have a Pokemon Plus, you should be able to get it because you're not playing while you're driving.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
What they need to do is they need to add 1 or 2 lines of code in there that recognizes that you're using a Plus.
Well, they should, but I mean, there's probably a bunch of other issues, and the main thing is that it's an accelerometer thing that they've added. So if you're let's say I'm driving and Zero's in the passenger seat,
Yeah.
passengers cannot access
Yeah.
Pokemon stops while you're
Yeah,
in
they're screwed
motion.
over as well.
You have to physically stop to access it.
Actually, if you're going under a certain speed, you can still get them. If you're going under, I think I've noticed, if you're going under 20, you can still get them.
Oh, still under 20? Okay, that's fine. That's about how much we did it when we were hanging around Zero's place.
But if you're driving, like, say, along a main street, and you have to go just a little bit faster than that for traffic, if you're using a Plus, it should recognize that you're using a Plus.
Right.
Because there's already coding in here that reacts to just the Plus, so it shouldn't be that hard for them to say, okay, we can give the Plus just a little bit more speed to be able to use.
Gotcha.
Like, say, 30 instead of 20 or something like that, you know? Not much, just enough for it to recognize they're using a Plus. Because it screws passengers over, too.
Yes, it does.
And yeah, it's pretty much the only thing that's ticking everybody off.
Yeah, it's irritating because there's certain sections of road where you only have to go just a little bit faster than that have a lot of Pokestops on them.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
Huh.
So I like how it puts it in one of the articles. It says, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, And then they've had an event going on this week that when you spin the Pokestops, you get like twice the items, and then random spawns have been like doubled. And that ends today, so it'll be over by the time this actually goes up. But it was actually a good thing for them to use to introduce the other new feature that they added, which is daily rewards.
And I love it.
So now there's a daily reward system going in here.
Yes, if you log on and you spin a Pokestop, that's your first Pokestop of the day, you get a reward for that.
Oh.
If you catch a Pokemon, that's your first catch of the day, you get a reward for that.
Fantastic.
And it continues on, and you get Stardust and experience points for doing this.
Cool.
And obviously you need the Stardust to power up your Pokemon,
All
as well
right.
as candies. So...
I mean, it sounds like a win-win by that regard.
Oh, it gets even better with the update. Just gets getting better and better.
Isn't there a reward where if you spin a certain amount of Pokestops, you get a reward for
7
that?
days. It's once every 7 days.
Yeah.
I think.
And they finally reduced the spawn rates for Pidgeys, Rattatas, and Zubats, and they've taken the Pidgeys and Rattatas out of the 2K.
So it's like they added a repel into the game almost then.
Pretty much a
Thank
repel
God.
that affects certain Pokemon. So no more 2K eggs with Pidgeys and Rats.
Fantastic.
The Zubat.
Also, I think there was a minor nerf or a minor patch that they made Eevees now 5-kilometer eggs.
Yes, they are officially 5-kilometer eggs instead of 10, so you won't have walked all that way to get an Eevee.
Yes.
Because up here, Eevees are pretty common.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I was just walking around. I stepped out of class to go to the bathroom today, and one of my classmates thought it would be cool to go ahead and step outside to go ahead and answer a Pokemon call because he got a Magnemite and a Krabby outside the classroom.
Oh, nice.
But he purposely stepped out of class to go capture those Pokemon.
Well, hey, if they're ones that aren't common, and you're only going to be gone for like a minute, then that's not really much of a big deal, you know?
Right, but understand, law school.
Oh, I know. But
Future attorney.
people are gonna do it anyway, though. So.
Alrighty then.
But yeah, so there's that. There's also something within the patch notes, or within the update that was interesting.
Yeah, they actually hint at a possibility of Gen 2 Pokemon coming soon.
Yeah.
Yes! The one Gen 1 Pokemon that was not released.
Oh, you mean Mew?
No,
Ditto.
Oh, Ditto.
Yeah, you didn't realize that Ditto was not in the list of Pokemon that was supposed to be in Gen 1?
I actually forgot about that.
Exactly. Everyone.
I didn't, but I knew it was probably one of those things they were going to be adding in later.
I wonder if they're going to introduce breeding as well.
That's what a lot of people are thinking. But what they might do, instead of adding breeding, is have a chance for you to hatch the baby ones and maybe give you, like, an extra CP when you evolve them all the way up.
Maybe.
That's one of the theories that some people are going with, because then you wouldn't have to add a whole section of coding just to breed them.
Right, especially since we already have eggs in the game.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's that. Other things, let's go and continue into we have one last bit of Pokemon news. Pokken Tournament has a new fighter, and it is not one people were expecting.
Krogunk is surprisingly one of the more popular Pokemon in Japan.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird if you really think about it.
Well, I mean, Japan absolutely loves their Toad Hermits.
Yep,
They do.
that
True.
they do. And this guy, I can't help it. His attitude is hilarious. If you ever wanted to be a troll, this would be the guy.
Yes, it is. So this guy's moveset is nonchalant. He's pretty out there, lazy, lewd. Pretty much many other words I would use to describe this guy.
Leo?
He's basically Jiraiya the Frog.
Yes, Jiraiya
Yes,
the Frog is
yeah.
exactly right. And not Leo. But anyway, jokes aside,
Control with the best of them, so.
but jokes aside, Krogunk joins Darkrai and Caesar, although people were expecting Empoleon to be the last updated Pokemon, based on some data mining.
So this is going to be basically the last Pokemon to come onto Pokken Tournament?
No, there's one more slot for Empoleon, but they're thinking that Empoleon is going to be the last one.
If it is Empoleon, awesome. If it's not, I'm still okay with this.
Yeah. They've got
If
quite
it's not,
a few...
at least give us something good, right?
Yeah. I mean, Krogunk's an interesting one. I mean, it is a fighting type.
It's also I think it's one of the few, if not only, support Pokemon that's going to be
An official
playable
fighter.
a playable fighter.
Huh. Alright then. So, what's next on our list?
Let's see, what is next on our list? we got some crazy news coming out of Myanmar.
You mean the country of Myanmar?
Yes, I wasn't talking about Myanmar, the famous Indian pop singer. EA accidentally banned the entire country of Myanmar from Origin.
Okay, that's kind of
What?
hilarious.
That's okay. Some of their origin system is stupid anyway.
They're not missing out.
On October 30th, a little bit before, just before Halloween, Myanmar lost Origin service, which prevented people from accessing any of their Origin games from EA.
Oh my word!
Apparently, it was not based on anything Myanmar did, but was a technical glitch on EA's part. The reason this is so story worthy is because the United States had levied sanctions against Myanmar.
Really?
Yes, except and the Obama administration had lifted those sanctions back at the beginning of August 7th. From the past 19 years.
So, in short,
They done screwed up.
this almost became super political.
Yeah, it almost did, but it was an error. People were upset about it, but it's been corrected. So,
They're
as
like,
they
oh my
say,
god, we're sorry.
yes, exactly, is
We
what
didn't
it
do
was
this on
basically
purpose.
came down to.
Good Lord Almighty.
You don't accidentally ban a country.
But they just did. Chalk another one up to EA, boys.
So, should we chalk this up to them being evil or just stupid?
Stupid.
Which do you have more fun with?
Both.
Of
I'm
course.
going-
Sorry, we goofed.
Next we have some Canadian news. One
Uh-oh.
that I don't think our Canadian buddies will be too happy to hear.
Uh-oh.
86-year-old woman accused of pirating video game told to pay $5,000.
Ah!
For the record, though, that is Canadian dollars, but it still stinks.
That's a bit much.
So, here's why. So, in Canada, apparently they have a legislation, or they have some sort of they have a copyright protection law, which basically means they can go after people for illegally downloading stuff.
But here's the problem. The problem is that it actually tracks the IP addresses of the offender. And if
Correct.
someone were to, say, use your IP for anywhere in your building, you could get targeted even if you weren't the one who was responsible for the actual theft. So someone in her building did, in fact, commit piracy and laid all the blame on her.
That's one theory. That's certainly one theory that's presented here, and that's been something that critics of the law have been saying because that's one of the because it's not exactly an accurate way of solving the problem. Also, the other issue is that this was not a legal summons or a formal allocation of wrongdoing. It was simply pay us $5,000 and we won't make trouble for you.
Really?
Ooh, that's
according to the Polygon article, anyway.
That sounds less like legislation and more like...
Strong arming?
Yeah.
Blackmail?
Well, it does sound a little bit familiar to like the I'm trying to remember what kinds of, because something similar happens in the States, usually with debt financing or for loan sharking. That's what I was thinking of, loan sharks.
Okay.
So I mean, it's definitely relatable on that front. So that's definitely one thing that is not. That's one thing that Canada is not little black eye on its record.
Are we?
Alrighty.
So we've got little old ladies who are being accused of piracies, whole countries being banned from video game servers. Is there any good news that's coming in?
Yes, there is. We have a free Overwatch weekend coming up.
Woohoo!
So if you're
So-
into Overwatch, good for you.
So, even if you don't know what Overwatch is, but want to test out their new character, which we'll get to in a little bit, you can try it out next weekend from the 18th to the 20th.
Sweetness.
So,
I tried it.
I know you tried it, you returned it, but for someone like Legend and myself who would like to learn what that's about and maybe relive our old Halo days, that's certainly something you can jump into.
This game to me was a little bit more fun than Halo at times, and that's coming straight from me. But I might give this game another try in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Just wasn't the right time.
Well, they did just release a brand new character.
Yes, they did. But before we get to let's go ahead and talk about Sombra.
Sombra, Spanish for shade. Or
I thought it
shadow.
was Shadow.
Yeah.
Shadow. Okay. So Sombra was released over the BlizzCon convention, and we got ahead and we got to see exactly what she does as well as a bit about her character. And the movie will talk for itself, but I think what's more interesting is her moveset. How she actually plays in game.
She's a hacker.
She is a run and gun hacker who uses an Uzi as her main weapon.
She's
She's
essentially
packing heat.
there to nerf a little bit of some of the characters that are kind of OP.
Well, she can nerf anyone. Her hack actually allows you to stun any opponent that she targets.
I might go back to try her.
She will run up to a character, hack them, and basically hold them in place and prevent them from shooting.
Yep.
Oh,
She
that was going
she
to
can also
echo
use
some
her hacking
people.
to go ahead and disable healing items,
Yep.
which will prevent people, which will definitely make it easy to kill off some weakened foes. She has a thermal optic camo ability, which makes her, which keeps her running fast and prevents her from being targeted, unless she uses another ability or takes damage.
She is going to piss some people off.
She's going to piss a lot of people off.
Her grenade is a transporting bomb that lets her basically blink to wherever it lands after a short time delay.
Okay, hang on. So we're talking about someone who can warp all over the place, who can pretty much freeze you, nerf you, neuter you.
And take you out back and beat you.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are freaking out about her at this point?
I'm just.
Quite a few, especially because she can also hack turrets.
Yep, I'm watching the video right now. Oh, crap.
She'll be one of those ones that they eventually have to nerf a little bit.
Yeah. From what I can tell, I saw a comic of Overwatch where it had like 4 characters. There was no healing. I forget who they were, but there was Sombra. There was Mei. There was. Who are some other characters that can stop other people from doing stuff?
Sombra, Mei, Anna, and Cowboy Dude.
Not Cowboy Dude.
The Sniper Anna.
Yeah, Sniper Anna.
I can't remember who the fourth is.
Well,
But anyway, her ultimate ability is EMP, which basically lets her hack everyone at once in a supersonic, in an electronic blast.
Oh, my God.
As of November 7th, she's play testable for PC players.
Oh, good lord.
I think I'm in love.
Joy.
I lost him.
I can't help it. I like hacker characters. I like those characters.
Yes, and that has nothing to do with her curves.
No, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a bonus.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, one last little story is that Blizzard has been taking their cheating policy very seriously, and the Chinese have decided to step it up a little bit.
Uh-oh.
So, according to...
The Chinese division of Blizzard has gone ahead and not only banned about over 1,000 characters in their latest slate.
1,650 to be perfectly accurate.
Exact.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Double D.
No problem, Eddie.
Does that make Zero Ed then in that case?
Fuck you! Fuck you both!
Hey, I'm sorry. He put me as Eddie.
You put
That
me
I
as
think
Double
that
D.
even you, I should be Ed.
So is
Yeah.
pancakes his version of toast?
Ugh.
Actually, that would still work out, wouldn't it?
Fuck off.
Chickens, Eddie!
Fuck off.
Canadians are
I
weird.
miss that series.
We all do.
Back
Okay,
when it
but
was
seriously,
good.
Blizzard goes ahead, names and shames all 1,650 players.
Wow.
Roughly translated, some of these names translate to "Killing you makes me tired." The world needs ass.
Call me the
Call
god
me
of
the
bitches.
god of bitches. What? And I do not like loneliness.
What?
Oh man, and there's others like there are others like hi and ugh.
Other innocuous names include pants with holes,
About Chicka Wow Wow?
your
Yeah.
boyfriend, please report me, and my account is at the top 500.
Good Lord Almighty.
Indeed, and these are all translated from their native Chinese language.
Mm-hmm. I think my personal favorite out of all the names listed in the Polygon article is "Can't think of a name." That is literally the name. "Can't think of a name" is literally what was deleted.
Oh my god.
Yep. We have an update to the PS4 where you can now share GIFs directly from the Share Factory onto the internet,
Woo!
which is something that Xbox One has been doing for quite a while, actually.
So that's something that PS4's finally gotten around to doing.
Yes.
Huh.
Which is going to be great for all the shooters and great for all the YouTubers who want to be able to record their feats for the internet to see. What else do we got here? We have Bastion. Special deal coming for Bastion for Xbox 360 users. In celebration of the Xbox One getting Bastion for the Xbox One, Xbox 360 owners will be able to download it for free for the rest of the year.
Woo!
Really now?
But you have to get your live memberships.
Thought so.
Fuck that noise.
Insert Luke Skywalker. No.
You already did
It's
that.
impossible!
What am
Insert
I fighting for?
insert Darth Vader. No.
Guys, you're ruining the mic. Quit it.
Good.
Just one more for
We
good
don't
measure.
have to
No.
We don't have good quality recording anyway, so you guys are just making it sound worse and worse.
Just having a little
But we're
fun.
having fun.
Good.
I'm the fun police, and I'm telling you all to stop it.
You're
One lives matter.
Aw, dude, I thought we were
I'm
going.
sorry.
I
The
would've
joke
s-
was there.
Next time I see you, Leo, I'm smacking you hard.
You promised this at least.
Isn't he already
50
up to like 500 smacks?
Yes.
Yes, I would say so.
Can
Absolutely.
I elect to have half of them on the butt, please?
Kinky. I think I'm going to walk away now. Leave you two alone.
Uh,
Let's move
I know
on.
you missed him, but come on.
Hey, more Dragon Quest news.
Yeah. So we got a release date for Dragon Quest VIII for the 3DS. It comes out January 20th.
Mm-hmm. And it is the full version, so you're going to get to play certain characters that you couldn't play before in the original version, as well as obtain
it's not a full version. This is a revamped version.
revamped version.
Yes.
So I would say it's more full, just because there's more that you can get in it, character-wise, ending-wise.
It's more like a remaster. It's more like a remaster.
All right.
But anyway, it comes out the same day as Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue HD EX Alpha.
That sounds like a bullshit name.
And yet it's probably 100% true.
Tales of Assyria.
Another
Yay!
Tales game.
Uh,
I hope
crap,
it's good.
It's the prequel to Zisteria.
Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. And Gravity Rush 2. So there you go. Okay, here's some minor news, and then we can get into some major movie news. Sony hires Deadpool director Tim Miller for Sonic the Hedgehog film.
Oh no.
Honestly, I can kind of see it. I mean, he did a good job with Deadpool, so I can try to see how his style of directing would translate into being something like that.
Just
We
as long
can
as Sonic
hope.
doesn't end up in a red, spandex suit.
And cursing.
I can already
No
imagine
idea
that.
whether or not this is going to be a Sonic Classic, Sonic X, Sonic Adventure, or Sonic Boom movie, though.
I want Sonic Adventure Sonic. I want that.
We can only hope, and that it's not going to be Sonic 06 Sonic.
I'm kind of hoping for a Sonic Utopia Sonic.
Well, we would all hope for a Sonic Utopia Sonic. But,
That probably ain't happening.
well, we've been proven that we all can't get what we want, but I digress. Moving on. We have trailers for the Lego Batman movie.
Yes!
You want to talk about this one, Kurt?
I honestly have not seen much of this trailer, but all I know is
We get plenty of Robin jokes in the trailer.
yeah, we allow Robin jokes.
Oh,
And
the subtitle might as well be every joke about Robin ever.
yes,
Like he puts Batman puts pants on him for his costume, and he just rips them off.
it's pretty much
He rips them off stripper style.
Pretty much.
it's pretty much like a very silly Batman movie, but this is not like the dumb Joel Schumacher movies that we got in the 90s. No, this is gonna be like if you want to do a goofy Batman movie, this is the way to do it.
This is a proper family-friendly Batman movie.
Besides the 1960s Batman series.
Right.
Huh.
So no back credit cards, but you will get plenty of spandex jokes.
Yes.
I'm laughing my head off at the fact he still walks around the mansion with the mask on. That's hilarious.
It also takes a couple of jokes at the recent incarnations of Batman as well.
Yes.
Really?
So haters of the Stiller Nolan series can go ahead and have a couple of chuckles as well.
Well, and at one point in one of the trailers, he's just fooling around, and Alfred walks up behind him, and he karate kicks him across the room.
Alfred, you know you can't sneak up on me like that.
He's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And then he cuts off Batman's internet access. He locks him out of the computer
Good lord.
because he's been on the computer too much.
Oh, this is really you really are hitting your target audience here.
Jesus H. Christ.
I'm looking at it.
Also, they're using the red-headed version of Tim Drake, or not Tim Drake, Dick Grayson.
Really?
Yes.
I'm gonna say this. When I saw the original Lego movie, I thought, oh God, here comes a gimmick. Oh God, here comes, this super franchise-heavy marketing bullshit that we've seen a million times before fail.
But it made it its own thing.
Yes, it did. Not only did it make it its own thing, but it struck a tone with me that I was not expecting. It was really good.
It's so stupid that it's magical.
Yes,
But at
it
the same
is.
time,
It's the only way to explain it.
well, I think it's because it's not stupid that it's actually clever. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that I loved. And with regard to the Lego Batman movie, it looks like they're taking shots at Superman versus Batman, which is always fun in my book.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely going to make this pop out. Just looking at this movie, I can already tell it's going to look fun. Just
It already looks fun.
Mhm.
It's just wonderful so far.
It really looks like it's going to be a masterpiece.
I am looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. The movie does I don't think it has does it have a release date yet?
I think it's early next year.
It just says early 2017.
I think it's early 2017, yeah.
Yeah, February 2017 is what the end of the trailer says.
So we got 3 months till it comes out, and I'm really anxious for it.
There you go.
Well, duh.
And then here's the fun thing I gotta make fun of is the fact that I think, I don't forgot the actor's name, but he does a better grovelly Batman voice than Christian Bale.
I don't wear hockey pads.
Let me see.
What is wrong with you people?
That was one of the few good lines Batman got in the second Batman movie.
Will Arnett.
Oh, Will Arnett? Oh, shoot.
Yes.
Oh my god. Wait. That's the guy. Wasn't he Vernon in the Turtle movies?
Maybe.
I mean,
I think so.
let me look.
Let me go ahead and give you the full rundown. Will Arnett is Batman. Zach Galifianakis is going to be the Joker.
Oh my god. I can see that.
Zero, you're really going to hate Robin now.
Who?
Michael Cera.
That's who it is?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh, he's doing the deep breath. Where's the screen pillow?
Yeah, I'm looking up William Arnett. Yep, it's Vernon from Turtles movie. Oh my god.
Batgirl is going to be played by Rosario Dawson.
That's a screen pillow, not whap your face in the
Okay,
face pillow.
I do approve of that.
Alfred Pennyworth is played by Ralph Fiennes.
Yes!
Who?
AKA Voldemort.
What?
Yo, I think that's Ralph. You said Ralph Fiennes, right?
Yes.
That's Voldemort from Harry Potter.
Alfred's playing He Who Must Not Be Named.
Or he who must not be named is playing Alfred.
Oh, shut my mouth. Yeah, he is.
Shut my mouth and
Jenny
call me Granny.
Slate.
Hi, Granny.
Hey, shut up.
Jenny Slate is supposed to be playing Harley Quinn,
Yee, Harley.
which, for the record, is Assistant Mayor Don Bellwether
Really?
from Zootopia.
All right.
And let me see. She also was in she's Tammy Larson from Bob's Burgers. And lastly, starring as the mayor of Gotham, Miss Mariah Carey.
Oh my god!
Okay,
That was so awesome.
that is gonna be good.
Oh boy.
Jesus H. Christ.
In other movie-related news, we actually have a longer featurette of Ghost in the Shell now.
And we also have news regarding the Do Japanese Like This particular idea of Scarlett Johansson being a part of this.
And they frankly just don't care.
Not
Well,
only do they not care,
They don't care. Series creator Mamoru Oshii? Mamoru Oshii goes ahead and he's like, yeah, I'm down with this. I'm fine with her being with her being Noriko.
So there you go. No matter what the fans in the States may think, Japan's cool with it.
Well,
It's
to
like,
be fair,
whatever.
it's not just the American fans. I think it's also some of the the actors guilds for not selecting more representative characters of the race or ethnicity.
I would say it would actually be deselected to pick someone who is Japanese to play the part. Because, quite frankly, the character in the series doesn't look Japanese.
Then again, a lot of people in anime don't look Japanese most of the time.
Well, that's because they're also drawing themselves. So, I mean, say for it what you will, but I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is that in Motoko's case, at least, you can argue it that she's actually, because she's supposed to be an android, so her body is not representative of her ghost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, don't take the creator's words all too seriously. This is a guy who made his character a lesbian, so he wouldn't have to draw guys' butts.
We all have our reasons.
Not. Yeah.
I'm just hoping he keeps his luck away a little bit. Anyway, no.
Last of the regular news that we have is Netflix is going to be doing a Lemony Snicket series for a series of unfortunate events.
And I approve of who they have to play the Count himself.
Who?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris, eh?
Well, that'll be interesting, to say the least.
Are there other faces that name is tied to?
Jim Carrey.
Well, Count Olaf was played by Jim Carrey in the movie.
In the movie, yep.
I didn't think he was that. I think he was good in that movie, even though the movie was all over the place.
Ironically, I haven't seen it.
It's actually not bad of a movie.
It's not that bad, actually. It just sums up the 3 books a little too succinctly and takes some things out of order for dramatic effect.
It ends the movie.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Anyway, that's it with the news. Now it's time for the special.
Yay! It's about goddamn time. I am going to go ahead and pull up the notes. Well, the questions that all our lovely viewers have asked us for our 50th podcast. And
thanks for sticking around this long. I know that we've gone through quite a bit of stuff, so.
And if you are using the annotations to jump forward in time, shame.
Shame.
Ding.
You are missing out on a lot of bullshit and shenanigans and a good way to fill up the empty voids in your lives. Jeez. Alright, enough bashing. Let's start praising them with some of their questions. Okay, first up is Ayumo Akiawa, who I believe also goes by the Lolicon King on our comments.
Sweet Jesus.
So, their question is, what kind of game genre is your favorite?
I'm going to. I say that for this one, I want to defer to our honorary legend hunters since they never got asked directly.
All right. So,
Okay.
what's your favorite, Akari?
For me, mostly I like either mostly action adventure hack and slash games, or like either God of War or Devil May Cry. But my favorite overall, I would say, is survival horror. I love that feeling of dread and not knowing what's around the next corner. Obviously, my favorite being a Resident Evil and Silent Hill. I just like stuff that's scary in general. I just find it just the most intense. That's probably the reason why I like it so much.
Alrighty.
Cool.
Awesome.
Alright,
Muzi?
Muzi?
Well, I seem to play a lot of action adventure. I mean, obviously, one of my favorites is Uncharted. So, and then the entire series, really. I mean, I know I play a lot of RPGs, whether they be JRPGs or just RPGs in general.
Alrighty.
Right.
So, Leo, what's your favorite game genre?
I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say I have a very strange game genre, and that game is character creators.
Really?
Like Dark Souls and stuff like that?
Well, not just Dark Souls. It depends on the creating and crafting systems. Among my favorite games were, like, I mentioned Dragon Quest III earlier, and that one has a really unique character system where you build your companions from the ground up, and it was really one of my most favorite games to just replay the starting levels over and over again. I've also played some other games like Armored Core, Last Raven, Soul Calibur, the Soul Calibur series, mainly from 3, 4, and 5. I enjoy the Bethesda RPGs because they offer a lot of crafting and inventive storytelling, where you can make your own choices.
So as long as you have options to deal with.
I like options, and I like it's like one part create a character, 3 parts cosplay.
So kind of immersion into that world with your built character.
It's more like a mental trip, because I'll do most of the humor comes from me on my own, sort of just coming up with things in my head. So I think that the character creator thing is really what's more important, because if you have a good character creator, I'm willing to overlook a lot of flaws, and if you have a bad character creator, then I'm not going to forgive you. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I'll still play other games like Smash, Mario Parties. I'll play a couple of shooters every now and then, but the ones that I consistently come back to, or the ones that I really wish I could play, are the ones that have just some sort of character customization that clicks with me.
All right.
Alright, Legend,
Okay.
what's your favorite genre?
I pass. What's yours?
RPGs, specifically mainly JRPGs, although Skyrim is a good time sink for me.
You mean it's a major time sink
Yeah.
for you?
Basically,
And then I brought you into the cult that is Stardew. So
yeah, so there's that little simulator.
Actually, Zero, haven't you also played a lot of simulators? Like, didn't you also be into Animal Crossing for a while?
Yeah, I actually did restart Animal Crossing again for like 2 days, and then I stopped it. I managed to get Wolf Link into my town. Yeah, so yay for me there, as well as the Squid Sister Squirrels.
Squid Sister Squirrels.
Yeah, Cece and Viche.
Oh, I was about to say you got the Squid Sisters, Marie, Callie and Marie.
No, I got their cosplayers.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, and anyway, I started that, but then I kind of got into a little bit of a funk and just started playing Skyrim nonstop.
Well, you
Gotcha.
did just buy it.
True.
All right. Legend, are you going to give an actual answer, or are you going to keep being mysterious?
Well, it's not necessarily that I want to be mysterious, but for me, it's harder to pin down one specific genre or style. I love open world games. I love them especially. Legend of Zelda, Skyrim,
Yes.
Pokemon, even.
oh, yes, that's a general one for all of us.
Yeah.
I would be willing to say that I enjoy the capture and raise characters of like the monster catching genre a bit more, because I've at least played some of the Digimon RPGs.
Yeah,
So,
I did play some of those on the I played Digimon World, DS, and Dusk and Dawn.
although the latest one, Cyber Sleuth, seems a lot more like a Persona game.
It
Which is
is.
really-
I've played it.
Which is
and
really
it's
weird to me, because you wouldn't normally associate it as with Persona.
I'd also like to
For
add
me,
a
it was
small...
kind of disappointing because I had been waiting for another game, kind of like Digimon World.
Oh
Some
yeah,
of the older stuff.
that one was really interesting. Digimon Worlds.
Yeah.
Just wanted to add
I
one
also
small
have
addendum.
a small spark for shoot 'em ups.
Yeah, shoot 'em ups.
Ah, yeah. Shmups.
Yeah, I get that.
Both of the platforming variety and the Galaga variety.
Mm.
I'm kind of on the fence about Bullet Hells though.
All right. Now this one's a bit of a more personal.
Oh, hang on. I keep trying to say something, and you all keep interrupting me.
Well, fine. Speak your mind, man.
To speak, you get.
Well, I was waiting for the opportune moment, but it seems you all so eager to jump forward without me.
Get on with it.
Get on with it! I like strategy too.
Yeah, like Fire Emblem.
A little bit like Fire Emblem, but I'd say
We save that for later.
I'd say we have quite a few other people who also want their questions.
Yeah, well, Akiawa still has 2 more questions he has for us. The first one is kind of more personal towards me and Legend. Do you guys think you'll be able to get back to Tales of Vesperia? Seeing the first few episodes led me to buy it and want to see you guys where you were going to play it.
Okay, so
We would love to play Tales of Vesperia, honestly.
I still miss it. I still wish that we could have done it, but honestly, our options were very, very much limited by the constraints of the YouTube system at the time. We got double hit with the copyright strikes.
On both episodes that we uploaded.
Yes, and we were forced to take them down, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think I still have them saved somewhere. If not, we might have to redo it. But anyway, I wasn't quite too happy with the results of the episodes anyway, so it would be a good idea to start from scratch. But I could upload one of them as a test, like as a private video, and see if it still gets flagged. And if that's the case, then sorry, we can't do it. If it doesn't, then maybe we'll do it later on in the year.
I would love to get back to Tales of Vesperia. There's a
There
lot
is
of bullshit.
there is an alternative I would like to just suggest is that if we really wanted to do it, we could potentially look into starting a separate website, maybe something akin to a Tumblr or just a separate website that we set up, occasionally managed. And what we can do with that is have Vesperia set with using another video program.
Okay. Yeah, like...
Because I know, at least the Super Best Friends have, they have certain videos on their signature channel or their signature website that they can only show there and not on YouTube because of copyright concerns. So that could be an option.
It is an option, though.
We'd have to get an account with another website, and I'd have to manage that. We'll have to see how that goes.
That would require more manpower. Let's put it simply. We would need to actually invest ourselves like an actual YouTube
company
channel, so to speak.
And if that's the case, then we might as well just start monetization as well.
Well, the main thing would be manpower first, and then monetization.
True.
Because then you have things like you have people to help you out upload videos, you have help editing more stuff. The manpower is really where it is, and so since Zero is really the only one who's doing it, probably right now, and at least unless Legend decides to
learn how to program
jump in and start learning how to do things, it's pretty much Zero at this point.
Yeah.
I've been offering for years to assist with this, but you insist on keeping it for yourself.
Yeah.
So my hands are tied at this point because I can't get my hands on any of the footage.
Well, sorry, I'm a little finicky when it comes to editing videos. You can help with other things.
Like what?
I don't know. Actually bothering to reply to some of our commenters.
I do.
Yeah, on your anonymous channel, for God's sake.
Shots been fired.
Mr. Harry Potter.
Well, thank you for letting everyone know that I am secretly Harry Potter. By the way, yes, I am Slytherin.
Okay, then. And then the final question from Akiawa is, what are your opinions on the Fire Emblem series?
I love it. But if your question is, what are our opinions about getting Fire Emblem onto the channel, that would be trickier.
Like, we could do, like, the Wii one. I believe that's Radiant Dawn, or...
Though the problem with the Radiant Dawn series, anything to do with Ike and whatnot, is that they're rare and expensive games, and
Very expensive.
Yeah, I've seen them going for about $200, which is about $200 more than I can afford.
Same here.
But I love the series. I absolutely adore the series, and I would love to get Fire Emblem onto the channel. There might be one exception to the GameCubes and whatnot.
We could do the Sacred Stones, I think, because I think that's on the Wii U Virtual Console. If it's not, and if it's only for the 3DS, then sorry, we can't. But we could try to do it, although Legend's the only one who's ever played it, and even he hasn't beaten it yet because it's hard as balls.
It is.
I
Yeah,
agree with that.
the old school, the older versions of Final Fantasy are pretty rough. Or
Final Fantasy?
Fire Emblem are pretty tough, and I do want to emphasize that at least from a viewing standpoint, it is a bit rough to watch because, especially with the three of us there, it's a tactical RPG,
Yeah.
and you move your characters around into certain points, have them wait their turn or attack, and then the other opponent has their turn. And the problem with this compared to something like Dark Souls, where it's split-second reactions and decisions, is that there's going to be a lot more bickering between the three of us.
Like saying, no, we should move this guy there. No, are you crazy? Move that guy over there, otherwise we're going to get killed.
Or
Especially just because, based on how the three of us have do Pokemon, we have very different styles in terms of the art of war. And so taking that to Fire Emblem, it means that we have very different priorities.
I can think of a way that we could make it work, like make it work on a turn-by-turn basis.
Like each
Right.
person gets a turn.
Right. But the problem, the other problem, and this is where I was going to, was that it's actually a bit of it's actually a little bit more of a buzzkill to work with because of the fact that the turns go by, well, pretty darn slow when you have to go ahead, when you're giving commentary or you're not the one solely focused on a map.
And there's one more thing that makes a Fire Emblem very, very, very tricky to work with. And that is its core mechanic regarding unit
Yes.
loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing with Awakening allowing you to not get your units killed off the bat with the casual setting was an innovation for the system because it was meant to make it more accessible to the American audience.
But the thing is, the classic variant makes it so that all loss is permanent. If you lose a unit, it's gone forever. And while that does make for very, very cool moments like, oh my god, we saved his life, it also makes for heart-rending moments that, quite frankly, are very difficult to go through. You go through legitimate loss.
It also gives it a Nuzlocke-like quality, where and given by how Zero's a bit of a perfectionist, no offense, Zero.
No, none taken.
He's not the only one regarding this.
It could potentially mean that an entire run, which can last anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes, gets reset.
Which would burn us out.
Which is not only burdensome, but also kind of unentertaining to watch.
Yeah, which means we would have to record multiple times for one fight.
If it did not go well.
Yeah.
If it was maybe one death, I think we could get away with it, but there will be those moments.
Plus the Awakening system allowed you to do dummy duels, which lets you train and grind up your characters to become stronger. The majority of the Fire Emblem games, the classic ones, are essentially mainline only, with a couple of side quests that you can unlock by completing certain conditions. But this basically means that your chances to grow your army are limited.
Yep.
Meaning that if you chose to go ahead and level improperly, and then your high-level characters die off, you could be potentially left with up without a creek, without a paddle.
Yep. So it's a much, much trickier game to manage for a Let's Play.
Yes.
If you're aiming for a 100% run. If not...
Or we're not talking about the Awakening series.
Or which is on the 3DS, which we do not have recording software for.
But would be arguably easier to perform, let's admit it.
Yes.
It would be much easier to do those games.
Yeah, and
the
I could just
classics.
grind off screen for stuff like that, huh?
Yep.
Would be much easier to do. Akari, Muzi, do you have any comments on this?
I'll take
Well,
Oh.
I'm mostly addicted to the Fates ones because they've managed to pull that off so well.
Yeah.
Akari, any comments?
Like I said, I kind of got late into the whole series, but I'm hoping to go back and do the other one, like later early ones. But honestly, I hope if
Can I come up
I
with
have
the
no
words?
words. No, I can't.
All right then.
All right.
So next,
I hope that answers your question.
next we have BMO.
Yes,
He's
Bebo,
got some questions.
one of our favorite followers.
Yeah, and fanboys.
All right,
Fanboy
so-
would be pretty accurate, but
His first
we love him nevertheless.
His first question is, what are your hopes for this podcast? Honestly, I really...
Zero's hoping to make money out of this.
It would be nice to actually make a little money off of this channel, for considering all the goddamn work I put into it.
To be fair, that's true, and
That is true.
I was the major opponent against it solely because of the fact that no money, no problems.
Yeah.
So, especially because because the other thing is that when things do go wrong, you come to me asking for help.
Yeah.
And when there's no money involved, I can sort of nudge you around and say, well, this is what I understand based on classes, and it's not actual advice. When there's money behind it, I have to put my hands off. I have to keep my hands off until I actually do become an attorney.
Okay.
So that's mainly been the main reason for it. But honestly, I think that would be the main thing, is that hopefully we can find someone to help come join us more locally, that we can do maybe some bigger events, some things that we had in mind in the past that we could still do.
Mm-hmm.
Make some monetize the videos so that way we could have some sort of revenue thing going on, and just make the channel bigger.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of potential that we could do. We have a lot of different perspectives, and I think we just need the manpower to help us get there.
Yeah, not to
We
mention...
can't afford it yet.
Yeah, we've also had offers for people to have us join their little community things, just to give us more views, enable us to monetize and stuff like that. I'm just kind of iffy on the whole thing still.
Well, it's always good to be an independent. It's always good to be your own boss and not have to worry about listening to someone else. So I mean, there's always that. We've always sort of just been. It's always been the three of us for the most part, and then when Muzi and Akari became closer, we started getting some of their input as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's always good to have that independence.
Mhm.
Legend, what are your thoughts?
More or less what's been stated here. I hate to say it, but I've been raised to be a little bit paranoid about letting loose information on the interwebs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do recognize that there's a lot of work that we do put into these. I would not mind the monetization, but at the same time, I also find it to have its own risks. And I'm still weighing against them at the moment.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's fair. Akari,
And if you
Muzi-
eventually decide to do that, one thing that you could put the monetization toward is to get maybe some capture software for another system or something like that.
yeah.
Because I know
Definitely,
Legend's cousin has capture software for the 3DS.
But that will require a little more negotiation.
Yeah, instead of we can't just swipe it from him.
Because
I don't even
I
think
also
he-
don't want to burden him, because he's also got his own plans for his system. So
Right, but that would be something nice to invest in the future as well.
all right. So,
Oh yeah.
Next, he asks, how long does editing take? Now, this is specifically for me.
Yeah, that's
go ahead.
specifically for Zero, because Zero's the only one who actually does anything with that.
Okay, well, editing really kind of varies depending on what I'm editing. If we're going by what I'm doing recently, the Let's Play that we're doing for Dark Cloud 2 has been one of the most difficult for me to edit.
Really?
Mainly because I had to overlay 2 images and I'm using I'm using iMovies to edit my software. I don't have the money, and I'm willing to bet my dad does not want to spend $300 for Final Cut Pro.
I take that was a direct reference because that sounded very heavy-handed.
Yeah, that was me directly talking to him. Anyway, like I said, I had to, because I'm using iMovie. I can't overlay two images over an actual video file. So what I had to do is overlay the pretty banner sides, the gear sides for the Let's Play, export the video, re-import it back in, and then overlay like the image of whose turn it is, and then the end card and stuff like that. And exporting, the first export takes about 30 minutes. The second export, again, takes about 30 minutes. Then I need to do compression, which can take anywhere from 30 to an hour. And that's not counting all the time that I'm doing, just making sure that doing all the audio editing for that. So it can take anywhere from 3 to 4 hours to edit one episode for our Let's Play.
What about the podcast?
Podcast is probably the easiest goddamn thing I have to do. Image, music, end card, export, compress. That the exporting takes about 30 minutes. The compression, since it's such a huge file, takes about an hour and a half. And then just waiting for YouTube to upload the next day.
And that has gotten slightly easier in more recent times because back then you would take whole days to bring that out.
Oh yeah, thanks to me actually updating the Mac to a later version, the iMovie system actually got a little easier and exporting actually got much faster.
Mm-hmm. I think I would also like to add, I have noticed that we've had to edit out some little things here and there with the podcast just so that, again, I've had this insistence on being careful with letting loose information carelessly, so...
Like our real names.
Which which all of us have a tendency at some point or another to leak on accident.
Yeah, so that means we have to stop the podcast or stop the recording, or I have to bleep it out or something.
Unfortunately. And I do apologize for that. It's not that I don't trust you, it's that I don't trust the internet. It's nothing personal against you.
Yeah. And BMO's final question is, are there any bloopers you haven't posted? No.
Oh! Yes, there are.
Yes, there are, though we haven't saved any.
We have had bloopers, but I never keep them because they take too much space on my computer. I don't have the room.
I'll go over one that I know of that you guys probably forgot, but it went really early in our lifespan as the Legend Hunters, back when we were still a Pokemon-focused channel.
Yeah, don't you miss those days?
We were doing the Kanto Gym Leader Roast, and we went ahead and we were trying to figure out what the hell we were doing for the Lieutenant Surge skit.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
Legend?
So, Legend channels his inner Full Metal Jacket, and he starts pulling out Drill Sergeant speech. I play a hapless private, and Zero's looking at us like, this is why we have jokes about military intelligence.
Yeah,
Isn't that an oxymoron?
I think I still...
Yes, it is!
I think I still have the Kanto Gym Leader roast recorded somewhere. What I was kind of hoping we were going to do, because you guys kept saying you didn't want to do this, is not include the Elite Four and Champions for that as well. But I think...
Oh yeah, we again, that also went through various drafts.
I am so tempted right now to actually do a little bit of the skit.
Why not, man? Why not do it?
Okay, but you're about to lose your mic.
Well, step back a little bit, Sergeant.
Yes, sir, General Zero.
Okay.
Attend! Huh! We here in the Vault 12 Division are here to make sure none of these rookie trainers ever make the league. Do I hear you?
Sir, yes! Sir, yes, sir!
I cannot hear you!
Sir, yes, sir!
Alright, I don't give a damn about you silly little guys. I want you to see you do 20 Pokeball throws as far as you can. I repeat, as far as you can. Do you hear me?
Sir, yes, sir!
I can't hear you!
Sir, yes, sir!
Now I really can't hear you.
You guys are a bunch of dorks.
I think that's how
okay,
you
we
did
continually
end it.
torment you with this stuff.
Yeah. I think my exact words was, what the hell are you two doing?
Yes, those are your exact words.
And then and then I think we just moved
And
on
then-
to Erica.
No, we went over him further. We went in depth from there, but that was the opening skit.
And I remember I caught you both off guard when we first tried it, because it just occurred to me to do that.
Yes, it did,
And we
which
were
was
just-
very insightful of you. Legend, do you have any other ones that? Oh, technically this isn't a blooper because we never recorded it. What did we record this? The Martella chicken joke.
No, we never recorded it. We were
Okay.
playing Tales of Symphonia, and we were practicing it, because we had it kind of slated, just trying it out to see if we could do a Let's Play of it.
But since Tales of games seem to be copyrighted by Warner Music, whatever the fuck they are,
We had to drop it. But there was one point where we're all sitting there, we've got our game controllers in our hands, and we're going through this scene where the party is talking with
a priest.
a priest about Colette, who is the resident, pure-hearted blonde girl.
MacGuffin.
She's not a MacGuffin. She's not an
Rub-
object of dis.
She is a severe
Wait.
klutz, though.
Rubber ducky.
Rubber Ducky.
We ended up calling her Rubber Ducky. And we just got off of a trip from McDonald's, and we're all in the middle of eating, whatnot, and we're just having fun.
Voice
playing-
acting.
Voice acting all of the different characters, and I am stuck with Colette. And
No,
in the
you were about to do the
let
priest,
me
I
tell
think.
the story. Let me tell the story. So, because I was not the priest.
Okay.
Leo was the priest.
Yeah.
So he goes ahead and we cue up my part of the story, my part of the dialogue. And I'm in the middle of enjoying these delicious chicken nuggets. And so Leo, as the priest, goes ahead and says, what do you think of these sacred texts, Colette? And I go, I don't know about the sacred texts, Mr. Priest, but this chicken's delicious. Come in Colette's voice, and we lost it.
And then Leo as the priest started talking about, oh yes, Martel's sacred chicken.
We just kept it going for about 4 episodes.
4 or 5 minutes.
4 or 5 minutes, and I was on the floor laughing
Yes.
my ass off.
If we recorded half of the stuff that we screwed around doing off podcast,
Martell's sacred chicken made with 32 herbs and spices.
we could like fill a whole separate channel with the shenanigans we did on
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's kind of why I don't
good,
keep
yeah.
most of the bloopers, because they take up too much space.
But sometimes we never had a choice.
yeah.
There was one point where we tried taking on the Capra Demon in Dark Souls. If you go back there, you might see that point. But Leo actually was supposed to be the first one to take on the Capra Demon.
Yeah.
And he ended up charging in
Before I hit the record button.
and died before we hit the record button.
Yes.
Literal seconds. We couldn't believe it, and we were so utterly dumbfounded when we saw that we hadn't recorded a single second of it.
Because it was a glorious death, if I recall right.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty bad.
What's up?
It was pretty bad.
It was, but it was hilarious, too.
Like, you got the ultimate gank.
Yeah, I got really walled. And then immediately after we came back, you saw that successful run that you saw right there.
Yes, that's how we were supposed to do it. The first time was just,
A failure.
oh, wow. Why you have to be careful about rushing in Dark Souls.
Yep. Gotta go
Yep.
slow and methodical, and also make sure the red light is flashing.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me see. Were there any other bloopers?
I think those are the like 2 most notable ones that we have.
Yeah, alright. Next on our list is from a person named Izanami Onagi. His first question is, can you guys try out a Sunrider game?
This might be the first
Now-
time I've heard of those.
I didn't know what this was until I looked it up, and I will firmly say that answer is going to be no.
Why is that?
It's a schoolgirl series
Yeah, fuck no.
where the schoolgirls do everything from become an idol group to become space fighters.
Jesus H. Christ.
So essentially, they're visual novels.
yeah, The
It
only
looks
vi-
like it.
yeah, the only visual novel we're ever going to come close to doing is Danganronpa.
Or Phoenix Wright.
Oh my god, I can't wait for that.
But either way, we have a soft ban on those games for two reasons. Number one, for the reason we just said, it's mainly just visual novel stuff. And number two, Zero will never play anything with me that has a majority female cast, which is why I'm surprised we still play Bayonetta.
Because I like Bayonetta.
Because Zero is the grand poobah of recording.
Yes.
Well, because he edits.
He is our editor, so...
I am the Grand Poobah. I demand a giant sultan's hat to say that I am the editor-in-chief.
You know...
No,
Is-
you
is-
need one of those ones from Flintstones, with
It-
the mammoth fur and everything.
I just want to
is
say...
that a Christmas gift request I hear?
No, fuck off.
I think that is a Christmas gift request I'm hearing, guys.
No.
You know what I hear? I hear a non-consideration for the literal genie. Be careful what you wish for, Zero. A giant cap may crush you.
Second question from Izanami is, what are your opinions on Ruby Grim Eclipse?
My thoughts on Ruby as a series are
My god, it's amazing.
overwhelmingly
Well,
positive.
what they're talking about is the actual game on Steam.
Right, the video game that came out for it.
I do not own it, sadly.
I will
I
say...
actually
I-
have it on my wish list, and I do want to try it.
It's on my wish list as well.
I would have to say, for me personally, I am a huge fan of the series, and I know for a fact that there is some good... it seems like a hack and slash beat 'em up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Akari?
know how necessarily good it is, but I am interested. I just
Akari,
don't
what
have
about
it.
you?
I can't say anything either. It's still on my wish list. I never played it yet.
Yeah, so...
I guess to answer your question is we're optimistic for it, but we need to actually get our hands on it first.
Yeah,
Yes.
so...
If you would happen to have some gift codes, we'd be greatly appreciative.
Dude.
Dude.
I can just imagine the four of us playing that. Like four players at once can play it.
You really want to know? That would be the easiest way to do it.
Well, hell, BMO gave me, for my birthday, Danganronpa for Steam. So,
At my recommendation.
of course.
Well, because he initially wanted to get you plushies, but that would require him knowing where you live.
Yeah, the only one I'm comfortable
So-
giving my address to is Muzi.
So,
And even
Well,
then, I'm scared
not
that she'll
even
send
me?
me in the future.
not Akari, Zero?
Excuse me?
You don't trust Akari?
Well,
Maybe
he
a couple.
knows that I'll give it to him if need be. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't give it, but you wouldn't give it to him outright?
Yeah, I'm kidding. Yes, I would.
I was gonna say, how else am I gonna send you your Christmas gifts this year?
Well,
Alright,
and
anyway.
another
Via
game
Muzi.
that I wouldn't mind seeing us play is the golf with your friends, because
Oh God, yes.
the shenanigans that we would get up to, and it would eventually make all of us rage at each other at one point, but not in like a bad way.
Well, I don't know. We seem to have a little bit of trauma regarding golf on our end.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on to the last question, guys.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna modify this one because the person only asked assuming the trio of us and not the full Legend Hunters podcast group. But who is the best trainer amongst the five of us?
I want to say Legend.
Probably Legend, yeah.
Legend.
Legend's like
And then-
number 1. I'm like maybe number 2, maybe tied with Leo.
The main sort of criteria is mainly because of the fact that Legend was the one who got at least me and Zero into competitive battling.
Yeah, so he
And
had
so
more
And so
experience.
since then, he had easily the earliest advantage in terms of how to build teams, how to create synergy, know what to look for in a Pokemon competitively, and he predicted a couple of trends before I even knew they existed. So I really think that Legend is the best trainer.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much true. I would say I might be the most diabolical of the trainers.
Well, you would be the Orochimaru in the trio of us.
Oh,
Which-
God.
Of course, that makes Leo Jiraiya.
Well,
That makes
don't
me
say that so
Tsunade.
quickly. Because exactly right.
I am Big Boobs.
You're doing a fantastic job hiding them.
Oh my god.
My God.
Why do you put these images that someone will try to make fan fiction of?
Maybe there already is.
Maybe we just don't know it.
We don't. Maybe, I don't know. God help me.
I'm getting a drink.
Okay, we have another one from Zorkling,
Yeah,
another fan of the cast, who asked us, what is your starter going to be for Pokemon Sun and Moon?
Oh,
Well,
Lynn.
considering I have Sun and Moon pre-ordered, I actually could do at least 2 of them.
well, I know my choice is going to be Poplio.
I am tempted to do Litten and Poplio, but I will eventually,
Get all 3.
obviously, do all 3 at one point.
Yeah.
The Pokebake is a wonderful thing because you can restart your game and shove your Pokemon in there and save them.
It's the same here, just like which ones. I'm going to go with Lighten, but I might be inclined to choose Decidueye, depending on what kind of Pokemon I can get early on.
Alright. So, Legend, what's your choice?
All of the above.
Of course.
No, but which
Well,
one?
yeah, I do
Which
want
one
to
are
try
you?
them all.
Which one are you getting first? Which one are you getting first then?
Probably going to get a Poplio, trade that over to my sister, and then I'm going to get a Litten, trade that over to my sister, and then I'm going to get a Rowlet, and then trade back the Pokemon that I got for my sister and start the game with all 3 starters.
Gotcha.
See, that's why I like the Pokebank. So if I really want to push it, I can just start the game a couple of times and just put them in there and then transfer them back onto my game.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So, with that, that's actually all that we got. I'm kind of sad we didn't get more, but at the same time, I'm glad with what we got.
Yeah, thanks guys for commenting and asking us all these questions. More than happy to answer them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And...
I have a question though.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Okay. Choose one game that you would want to direct how to do the Let's Play of, and assume that it could be any game possible. What game would you want to Let's Play on the Legend Hunters channel?
I would want to force Zero to play Uncharted.
You want to force me to play it. So, basically, Muzi...
So it would be just a Muzi, Zero, the 2 of you just playing this one then?
Oh, well, obviously I'd bring in you guys too, but, he would be the one that we would have to force to play.
I mean, you could do it however you want, but I think those 2 would be. I think just you 2 would be hilarious because then it would just be you 2, and you'd have to live with each other.
Oh,
I already got a brilliant one. I got a good idea.
Alrighty then. So,
With that, what's coming up on the channel, Zero?
That was only Muzi. Everyone else gets the answer too.
Oh,
Damn it.
never mind. Hold on.
Akari, you get to go ahead and direct a Let's Play. What kind of hell are we going to get put through?
Okay, for the same thing, I am not picking a Resident Evil game. I am actually saying I would put you guys through probably the 2 rebooted Tomb Raider games.
yeah.
So more platforming madness for Zero.
Yay.
It's a mixture between sniping people in the head with arrows and sneaking around and solving puzzles.
So, basically, what I've been doing in Skyrim for the past 2 hours.
What?
Yeah, I've basically been playing a thief with an archer in Skyrim for the past 2 hours while we've been recording.
Oh, but the arching mechanic, the bow and arrow mechanics in Tomb Raider are really, in my opinion, a little bit better than Skyrim.
All right.
They're very tight and easy to learn.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Zero, what game would you want to play if you could play any game for the Let's Play?
Well, I've already have that planned out. I'm making Legend go through blind through Danganronpa 1.
And since I've seen that entire game played, the reactions will be priceless.
Oh God, I'm waiting for the final chapter.
I want you to like take a camera, screenshot my face, like take a few shots of my face, and then draw them whenever some of the bullshit moments happen.
Yeah.
Yes, please do.
So I'm
Um,
like a literal face palm, like just an anime jaw drop.
I got one.
Oh God.
It would be a car. It would be the five of us, Legend Zero, Akari, Muzi, and myself, and we would be playing Dragon Quest III.
Dragon
But
Quest.
here's the gimmick.
Okay.
We all are going to be characters in the game because you can create as many characters as you want and have 4 people in the active party.
Okay.
And we're going to actually narrate this thing like we're actually going through a Dungeons and Dragons style adventure.
Oh my god.
Why am I thinking it's going to end up being Dragon Quest 3 abridged?
It would
That's
be amazing.
basically what I'm aiming for. Is basically that.
Would be amazing. There.
That would just be so much fun.
I'm already imagining the classes. I'm naturally, because I'm the one running it, I get to be the hero.
Of course.
I think I would put Akari as the warrior.
What?
Muzi gets to be the I think I would put Muzi as the cleric. Legend, of course, gets to be the mage.
Oh, I got to nuke shit.
Though I'd say I'd like to start as the jester, given I know its mechanics. You are about to get trashed, Zero.
Actually, I was going to put Zero as the jester.
No, I'd like to be the jester, please.
Alright, fine. We still would need to go ahead and then I guess in that case, if you're going to be the jester, we'll put Muzi as the dealer character because you need at least one of those to complete the game.
Really?
Well, for reasons I will leave ambiguous because of spoilers.
Alrighty.
Oh, so I get to be essential.
Yes, you are essential, which may or may not be a good thing depending on what happens in the actual game. Which, again, plot related, so I can't say why, but I think that would be the most fantastic way to do it.
Alright.
One day we need to, all pull in and get him capture software for his computer.
Lastly, Zero, you get Legend, you get to decide what kind of Let's Play we do. Of any game, any way you want it.
Any game, any way we want it, huh?
Yeah.
That's a tough choice. There are many games that I do wish that we could try out. There's a game that I've been wanting to get us to play on the channel for a while now, though. At the same time, I do find it somewhat difficult to recommend because it has its up moments and it has its down moments.
And that would be?
A game I've purported since its release on the 360 and various other platforms. A game with Dragon in it.
Dragon's Age.
Not Dragon Age. Believe it or not, I'm actually a little bit against Dragon Age.
Dragon's Dogma.
Dragon's Dogma.
Mm-hmm. Because I want to see Zero stab a Cyclops in the face with a fork. Or a knife about as big as a fork.
You do remember that the last time we tried to play Dragon's Dogma, I created a guy with the biggest hips possible.
You created the biggest, fattest asshole I have ever seen. Made him girly as hell. And then had him try to be an archer. That is ambitious.
He was a ponce.
He was the ponciest ponce that ever ponce.
Yes. Yes, it was. And while that would be fun in its own way, it comes with its own drawbacks. I don't think you could have actually beaten the game with that guy. As you were.
Yeah.
And there are other problems with Dragon's Dogma, but quite frankly, I would love to see you take on the bosses of this game. I would really love to see you take on the bosses of that game because, oh my god, if you thought the monsters in Monster Hunter were bonkers, wait till you can climb them like Shadow of the Colossus.
Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah.
Oh.
And speaking of, Shadow of the Colossus.
Well, that's pretty much the ultimate. Everyone's done it already.
Except us. And I never played it.
I've actually never beaten it, to be honest.
So, that's something. And I do actually know how to go through the game. I've watched several playthroughs.
Yeah.
I would not be opposed to having a little fun.
Yay. Well, we'll have to think about it.
One other recommendation I'm going to quickly just interject and say it would be Cold Shadow.
Oh!
Just because that game, I have only found like maybe 1 or 2 possible Let's Plays of it, and it could go for an actually good audio one.
Well, what
Or
platform
one with
will you
audio
be
in
playing
it.
it on?
Just a suggestion.
But what platform, man?
We would have to emulate it on a PC, but we would most likely be doing the Genesis version. Well, it came out on PC too, but we would have to emulate it through a bunch of backwards ways because it's meant for like Windows 90 systems.
That sounds fun.
It's a really fun game, though.
I've played it.
Yes.
I actually used to be obsessed with it as a kid, but
I was too.
it is really hard.
Well, it's hard when you don't know what you're doing.
One
And
thing that
don't
would be
have a
funny is
computer
watching
that- What's that?
you guys play the Walking Dead games, like the Telltale ones,
Yeah.
because then you'd have to agree on what choices to make.
Oh fuck no! What we would most likely do is we would do like we would do an episode by episode style thing where every time we stop it, we transfer the controller, and then whoever does it just makes the decisions for that, and then whatever happens happens.
Good lord.
Which could be really creepy when someone decides to play the ego, someone plays the id, and someone is the super ego.
That could be
I wonder who
fun.
that would be of you guys.
So then then the character looks like they're psychopathic or schizophrenic.
Well, I think in that world it would kind of make sense for the crazy to be leading the crazy.
Yeah, that's why Zero's the one running this channel.
Shots fired again.
Again, shots fired.
Technically, Legend's crazier than I am.
Oh, is that so?
Don't
And it's his
deny
name
it.
on it.
Don't deny it. You know he's the wackiest wacko that we have.
I don't know about that.
His name is on the channel.
I mean, yeah. See,
So-
here's my thing is that, because you, my friend, well, yeah, that's true. Legend is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I would say I am, but come on. I have my moments of clarity.
Although they are
It
few,
varies.
they are few and far between.
Yes.
So, well, here's a little food for thought. This is me sane.
Is there such a thing with you?
Wait,
Yes.
You're looking at it.
what's sanity?
What is crazy?
Oh,
What is this
Legend.
thing you speak of called sanity?
What's coming up on the podcast? What's coming up on the channel?
Let me think. Well, more, what was that? Anyway, what's coming up on the channel? More Dark Cloud 2. I actually will be out of town next week, so I'm going to try to get Legend to record right before I leave for some more episodes. I'm going to try to actually, while I'm out of town, work on my script, for God's sake, for my Divide by Zero review.
Well, haven't you been doing that for the last few years? Few years? It feels like years.
It's been like a couple of months.
Yeah, I know, because being home alone, doing nothing, makes you forgetful. Yeah, not to mention all the games you must play. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the channel. I think either our next Let's Play is either going to be Bloodborne, or if it comes out by the time it does, we'll be doing Danganronpa.
Well, we should also be not not within like the next month, but well, actually, in a month or so, I'll be back in town with Zero and Legend. So you could see hopefully some more collaborative stuff with me being in them. I might have a couple of swings at Dark Souls. Not Dark Souls. Dark Cloud 2.
Yeah, depending on how done we are. I will
do some Mario Party, maybe a little bit more of the other game that we like to play that Legend hates so much because he can't win.
Fortune Street.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we go from there.
Yeah, hopefully
Well,
we
and
can
you
get
still
the
need to post the Fortune Street as well, so...
Yeah, hopefully we can get the last 2 floors of levels of Mario Party 8 done with, and then move on.
Yeah, we can do that.
And then maybe move on to
done.
Mario
Which
Party
I cannot
9.
wait for,
Suddenly my
because it's
temper
Same here.
hilarious.
And even my mother finds you guys hilarious in your Mario Party RPs. I mean, LPs.
I'm gonna try and see if I can find us a 4th to do Fortune Street and maybe
Because
Mario Party, so
I-
that way it's less
bullshit.
BS.
I wish there was an online way to do Mario Party.
Oh, that would be so cool, especially with 10.
Yeah, that would be
Oh,
kind of interesting.
But we'll see what happens when Christmas comes around.
Yeah. But until then, this is the Legend Hunters. Well, this is Death Zero.
This is Zero Force.
This is Akari.
This is Moosey.
And this is a 50-year-old legend signing out.
Not 50 years old.
Well, 50 podcasts old.
See you later, guys.
And thank you for being with us.
Killed each other by now.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Vancouver.